We have to divide two radical expressions here. We have square root of 3x minus 2 square root of y divided by square root of 3x plus square root of y. So we're going to, use something that we call here the conjugate. All right? So the conjugate, that means what? That means we're going to take the same rational expression and then multiply by the conjugate of the bottom piece. And the conjugate of the bottom piece is what? Is square root of 3x minus the square root of y divided by square root of 3x minus the square root of y. So we're taking the bottom expression, ladies and gentlemen, we're changing the sign in the middle, because this one is a positive, we change it to a negative. And then we duplicate it. We put the same thing at the bottom here. All right? So this is the operation that we are bound to do. Okay? So we're going straight across, top by top, bottom by bottom. Okay? And then we have to use, of course, what we call here, the FOIL method. So that means the 3x, we multiply the 3x first, right? So let's go for it. So 3x times 3x, that would give us what? 9x squared, correct? Which is going to be changing after that to 3x, but we're going to, take it easy. So that would give us what? So that is 3x times 3x, which is going to give us 9x to the second power. Are we good? Then the same one here now will be multiplied by negative square root of y. Okay? So we're using FOIL method. You guys remember FOIL method, right? So then what would that give us? So positive times negative is negative. So that would give us what? 3xy. So we multiply expressions under the radical with expressions under the radical. That's basically it. And the expressions outside the radical with expression with the ones outside the radical also. That's how we, put them together. So now let's come here. So we have to do negative 2 square root of y times 3, square root of 3x. So what's going to happen? The 2 is outside. Remember? So the 2 will multiply the outside number here, which is actually an invisible one, because there's nothing. Whenever there's nothing here, we assume it to be an invisible one. So that'll be negative 2 times positive 1 is going to give us negative 2. And then we go with the inside radicals. That means y times 3x is going to give us 3xy. All right? And then last but not least, so we're going to take the same expression, multiply it by the last one. So also over here, this is negative 2 outside, and this is negative 1 outside. Okay? So negative 1 outside. All right? So that we know the difference. So negative 1 outside. All right? So negative times negative is going to give us what? Positive. So it's going to be positive 2 outside, and then square root of y times y is going to give us y to the second power. We good? Then that is over. So now we got to do the same thing at the bottom one here. Okay? So we're doing square root of 3x times square root of 3x. That would give us what? Square root of 9x squared. Square root of 3x times then negative square root of y. Okay? So that would give us what? So that would give us, because there's nothing outside, so positive times negative is negative. So it's going to give us negative square root of 3xy. All right? And then this one here, so what's going to happen? So that would be positive times positive, nothing outside, so that stays like that. So that would be also square root of 3xy. And then also, when we have this one here, positive times negative is negative also. And then y times y, so we have y to the second power. All right? So we have this one equal to, so what is square root of 9 to the second power? That would give us what? 3x. Then negative 1, and then negative 2, because these have the same radical. So we can always add or subtract them up. Okay? So negative 1 and negative 2 is going to give us what? Negative 3. Then square root of 3xy. We good? And then we have plus 2 square root of y to the second power. And then this one is divided by, so what's going to happen? So here, square root of 9 to x to the second power is what? Is 3x. All right? And then negative square root of 3xy plus positive plus square root of 3xy. What's going to happen? This one is crossed out. And then we have negative what? Square root of y squared is what? Is y. Okay? So this is what we have so far. And then what's going to happen to the square root of y to the second power? So even earlier, we could have already worked on this one. Okay? So because square root of y to the second power is y actually, right? So we could have just changed it into y already. So we don't need to wait actually. So we don't need to wait for this one. So we end up with 3x minus 3 square root of 3xy under the radical plus 2y divided by 3x minus y. Okay? So the next question is there anything else that we can combine together? If you look at up here, there's nothing to combine because 3x is different than negative 3 square root of 3xy, then different than positive, 2y. And then these two also different, so we cannot go further than that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are finished with this problem here. It's not difficult, but you have to take your time to get it. And once you get it now, you can move forward very quickly. All right?